Hello, it's He Drinks, She Drinks again. Today we're going to be talking about these little guys.
Mini toucha.
Exactly. So, firstly, a Chinese lesson. Toucha. Toucha actually is toucha. To is actually ogre. So,
Ogre as in the monster ogre?
ogre as the machinery ogre. A-U-G-E-R. Do you say it any differently?
Ogre.
Ogre?
Why is it called that?
Because, it actually looks a bit like an ogre, I suppose, to some people. Spin tops. That's what it was really referring to. Yeah. You know, the fun thing.
Like those bevel screw things that you can bevel with them and stuff.
Right, yeah.
Some of you will know what we're talking about. For the rest of us, it just looks like a
spin top. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I guess, you know, a more common way to describe it perhaps would be mushroom. But anyway, the important thing is that these teas have been compressed, which is quite an unusual way of dealing with tea. And you might think that the tea itself is probably not a very good quality, but in fact, these are actually made of a particular category of tea called...
puerh.
Yay! P-U-E-R-H.
Which is black tea in Chinese category or post-fermented in Western category, because black tea and Western tea is red tea in Chinese category. Have I got you confused? If you are, stay tuned. Over to you.
Okay, so puerh is a particular tea category, and yeah, it is post-fermented. Essentially, they made it with a special kind of tea leaves, and then they put it away. I'm just trying to be ultra simplistic here, putting it away to store for a period of time, aged. Then they bring it out and you drink it. So they've been doing it for quite some years now. In fact, quite a few hundreds of years. And puerh, originally it was really more for the reason of moving, you know, tea from A to B, so to speak, and they just kind of pack it together because they need to put it onto a donkey, onto a tough journey from China to India, basically. So it is actually a really long journey back in the yesteryears. In fact, I'm thinking that I said hundreds of years. It's actually a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, but the journey itself is not hundreds of years. The journey itself only takes about a year.
Anyway, so the good thing about these puerh to a lot of people is that obviously it's very easy to use. You can take it around, you can even take it overseas while you're going for a trip or something, and it's all nicely compacted. Now what happens is once you drop one of these guys into a cup, it's going to start opening up like leaf tea again. Puerh has got quite a lot of different types, if you will. So there are ones that is lighter with the brew, and there is one that is dark in the brew. Again, we can go on and on. This session can go on, but you know, we are just going to keep it ultra simple. So these ones we call it raw, and the brew tend to be much lighter.
For how many people is this for anyway? Because the puerh cake is usually quite bigger, like a saucer shape, and this is very small.
So these mini toucha is usually, I mean, for Chinese, they would usually use it in a small pot, a small pot being a utensil that perhaps is of this kind of size, so, you know, a mug or less, and they will use that for one person. And of course, that is really quite strong in the Western scale. So like, for example, today I only broke half of it to use for us, and you can see that the tea is already quite a bit darker.
I'll bring it up
than how we would often brew this. So you can actually say this little guy can actually brew for 4 people's worth. It's actually quite a lot of value if you look at it from that angle, and you can certainly brew it more than once.
And you don't have to brew it strong. I know some of us have tried Kung Fu Cha and all that sort of stuff. And
Strong.
Huh?
A bit too strong.
That's still too strong?
Yeah, I brew it a little
and
too
she
long.
and she did it light, so you can see there is still a matter of personal preference. Some people will say you got to do it strong, but most of us just want to enjoy our tea.
Puerh is known for digestion. In fact, you might have even seen some of them in weight loss tea and skin detox tea and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
With this particular pu'erh.
Now it comes through. Now the strength comes through.
Yeah, they're strength and taste.
Delayed action, people. Delayed action. Oh.
So these guys actually, besides the pu'erh tea leaves, there are also roasted rice in it, glutinous rice, and it gives it a really nice sort of
sweet sort of smell.
Yeah, I mean, some people say that it reminds them of hay, and others, are just really liking that.
It's the sweetest kind of smell. So because normal pu'erh is sort of woody, like being in an old museum kind of smell. Not everyone likes it.
Right type.
Yeah, and this sort of sweetens it up a bit, like being in hay.
Yeah.
Comparatively to old wood.
But also, if you guys know about those roasted rice, like in a Chinese clay pot rice or the Japanese one that
or the Thai sticky rice. No, was that too jasmine-y?
No, I'm talking about the actual one that is crunchy. That's at the bottom.
Yeah, the crispy, crunchy. The Koreans have it like this. Rice cake, that's it.
Kind of.
Yeah.
The roasted, rice crunchy thing that, you can have. It's almost like popped rice. So it's got that kind of flavor mixed with the tea, which is really pleasant to drink. And after meal, this is fantastic for digestion. And it just kind of gives you that really nice way of just kind of ground yourself.
And it doesn't have much caffeine. Is this fully post-fermented, so there's no caffeine?
No, hold on.
No, if I got it wrong? I got it wrong, folks.
Caffeine
Correction time.
It will dissipate as the tea ages. So with these little guys, usually they don't age it much at all, maybe a year or so. But you can certainly find, what Peter was referring to as bang, which is like a giant frisbee of cake, of tea, pu'erh tea. And those, you can certainly buy some that are like 20, 30, 40 years old. They are pretty precious. They can cost you a small car. Kind of money. And certainly those we would want to look at the age types. So again, I mean, we are not trying to kind of throw you all geeky bits on pu'erh here, because it is a really lifelong journey to learn about pu'erh, a bit like learning wine, with the
which you can start at Teas.com.au. You can come to our website and actually come and try ours to give yourself a go. And it's a small try, so you don't have to commit yourself to a big bang. Did you go brick?
Yeah, bang. No. So these little guys are fantastic. So take a look. It would be under the pu'erh section. It's something really worthwhile to look at if you are, looking for something for digestion. If you always seem to have, a bit of tummy problems after you drink after you drink tea, like strong tea, this might be the way to go. Check it out. It's called mini toucha, Toucha.
Under the pu'erh section, and please don't forget to write in your comments. We'd love to hear from you and tell us what you think.
Yeah, if you want to enjoy your tea time, because that's your me time, choose something that you like to explore, to enjoy, to nourish, and that's going to make you a whole lot happier as well.
Definitely.
See you next time.
Bye.